Hi, and welcome back to Financial Education Fridays. My name's Jim, and I'll be the one that's hosting this one for you. So, last week, to recap, we had started the series with How an Economy Grows, and it was written by, there was a book, How an Economy Grows and Why It Crashes by Peter Schiff. And the idea was to plan on go through the book and, tell the story that he explains in the book. However, this here is a free-for-all thing for Financial Education Fridays, and I'm try to present things that are relevant to everyone as we go forward. And this is one of these kinds of days where, yeah, here I had planned on doing How an Economy Grows, and it would have been part two, but I saw an interesting article in the Atlantic, and so therefore I decided I would, veer from the beaten path and present this instead. So if you look at the link in the post, read that article before you go any further. Okay, uh, stop the video, pause it, do whatever, click on that link, and read that article because it gives a little bit of a test in that article. The article is titled "Most People in the World Have No Idea How to Manage Their Money," and there was three questions in there, and of course the answers were provided. So stop or pause the video and then take that quiz and then come back. Okay, thanks for coming back. If you had stopped and had read the article and did the quiz, this is going to be a little bit more valuable to you here. All right, so what was this about? It was about most people in the world have no idea how to manage their money. And the thing about it is that based upon a quiz that was given, the percentage of people who aced the three questions, if you look at these percentages, Russia, only 4% of the people were able to answer all three questions. The United States, only 30% of the people. Germans and Swiss, 53 and 50. The Swedes, Italians, Japanese, and French, right around that 25 to 30% mark. And uh, this is why I'm having the Financial Education Fridays to try to educate and bring forth some of the things that you're not going to get in school, and that's the reason behind doing this. And these it's kind of odd how this I saw this article, and it's just from yesterday, and how relevant it is to why I'm doing this series of articles, these postings on Friday. So um, this bears out that we're not as literate in the area that we actually need to be. All right, so uh, I'm going to just quickly go over the three questions so that you can understand why the answers are what they are if you happen to miss it. All right. Question one, suppose you had $100 in a savings account and the interest rate was 2% per year. After 5 years, how much do you think you would have in the account if you left the money to grow? Now, most people kind of would, kind of get this one, I think, all right, because obviously you'd have more, A is more than 102, B would be exactly 102, C would be less than 102, and D, don't know, refuse to answer. Right, why would the answer be more than 102? Well, if you consider that in year one, sorry about that, in year one, if you had $100 and then you multiply it by 2% interest, okay, you would end up with $102, right? That's after year one. I mean, we're growing at over 5 years. So anything more than that, we're going to get interest on interest. So if we multiply by 2% again on our year number two, we end up with about 100, let's see, yeah, $104 and of interest, I mean, of principal after the second year. So obviously you're going to have more than, $102 as you grow this from year 3, 4, and 5. Right? So that one was relatively easy. I think most people would get that. But now number two, imagine that the interest rate on your savings account is 1% a year. Okay? The interest rate on your savings account is 1% per year, and inflation is 2% per year. Okay, we're talking about two different things here. We're talking about savings, and we're talking about inflation. After 1 year, would you be able to buy A, more than, B, exactly the same as, C, less than today with the money in this account, D, do not know, refuse to answer. Okay, here's the thing. We have savings over here and inflation over here. Now, what we all know what inflation is. Okay, I'm sorry, we all know what savings is. You know, you put your money in the bank, the $100, and you get 1% interest. So you're going to get $1 back at as interest. And when you add it to the $100, right, you'd have $101 in the bank if you saved it, right? But now here's the thing: inflation, right, is how much it costs, right, to buy things. And we've all heard the stories that, when I was a kid, the price of a gallon of gas was 25 cents, right? And today it's $3.80, right? Well, you say, okay, over the course of time, that would, that makes sense. The price has to go up, all right? Well, which is true. I mean, if we take $1 and it's called the rule of 72, which I can get into another time. Yeah, it's things are going to double over a certain period of time. But if we had $1 and 8 years later, okay, that dollar doubled, we would have $2. And 8 years more, we would have $4. And 8 years more, we would have $8. And 8 years more, right, we would have $16. Right? That would be the normal cost of things going up. But inflation is like a hidden tax. It's the price over the course of time. This 25 cents, if you imagine, I mean, this here is a 32-year period. Well, if I took 25 cents and then I double it to 50 cents, and I double that to $1, and then I double that to $2, right? I'm nowhere near $3.80, and that's inflation. So if I save, and I'm saving at 1%, okay, but yet the cost is going up 2%, okay, that means I'm spending more than I can save. So that's why answer C is correct. It's, what I'd be able to do with this $100 is less than today with the money in this account, because the cost of everything is going up greater than what I could save. And this kind of directly relates to the Financial Education Fridays from last week, where we had started with how your economy grows. This all ties right into that, so that you can understand why you don't have as much money as you used to. All right, now number 3, do you think that the following statement is true or false? Buying a single company stock usually provides a safer return than a stock mutual fund. Okay, they're talking about a single company stock. Okay, and let's just make a line here and call this single. And usually provides a safer return than a stock mutual fund. Okay, we'll call this mutual fund over here. Okay. All right, now we all understand a single stock. I'm going to buy just one stock, but what a mutual fund is, it's a basket of stocks. Generally, it's about 100 different companies, and you own the stock in all of those 100 companies. Okay, so to understand whether this statement is true or false, do you think that the following statement is true or false? Buying a single stock usually provides a safer return. Right? If we have a single stock, okay, and it, let's say it's at $100, okay, and it goes up to 200, you've made 100% return on your money. I mean, obviously, if it goes down to 0, you've lost all your money, right? Now, here's the thing. If I have a mutual fund where I have this same single stock here, okay, and I have 99 others. Well, that one stock can go down to zero, but the risk is spread out over those other 99. I mean, this one might go up a little, this might go down, this one will go up a little bit more, maybe it goes up a little bit more, down. So what happens is when you have a mutual fund, you're spreading your risk over the number of stocks. Here, when it goes down to zero, you're losing all of your money. Here, when one stock goes down to zero, you're not losing all of your money. You're only losing 1/100th of it because we have 100 different companies in there. Now, granted, they're all going up and down, but what ends up happening is that that risk and reward, it kind of stays at an even keel. Yeah, I can have one that goes up to $200, but then that's also spread out over the course of the other 100. It's kind of like averaged in. So you're not hurt by losing one company going down to zero, as if you would do with a single one. That's why you have a safer return for a stock mutual fund than you would have as from a single stock. So no, buying a single stock is not safer because of the risk reward profile. And just as a quick aside, the other thing with this is that you might think, well, that's a better deal, but remember, you're not making a lot and you're not losing a lot. I mean, you can have one stock that goes up tremendously, okay, here, but that profit is averaged out over the course of those other 100. So your mutual fund really stays at an even keel. You don't gain a lot and you don't lose a lot. Okay. The problem with this here is that you have to pay commissions. Okay. There's a cut every year that the person who is handling the mutual fund is going to take out of whatever is in that fund. And that's a story for another day. That's all part of financial education. So I hope you understand these answers. If not, leave a comment, reply, give me your thoughts. I'll be more than happy to entertain it. And like I said, this is a free-for-all type of thing. Let me know what you think, and I'll try to address certain issues. I just happened to see this. I thought it was relevant, so I changed the course of what we're going to do. All right. This is not going to be unusual for the future. All right. Thanks, and have a great day.